Hey guys, welcome back to Operation Arsenal. It feels like it's been months since the last one. I mean, we all love to watch football, but international football every now and again is fine. But it just feels like there's too much of it going on right now. I really, really miss Premier League football and, well, just club football in general whenever the international break is on. So I've really missed it. We're back today. And Arsenal, of course, had the chance to go 10 wins in a row in all competitions. And, of course, they went ahead and done it. Being an Arsenal fan right now isn't bad, I can tell you that. I knew going into the season it was going to be potentially a very, very difficult start at least. But at least the whole season was going to be tough. But I've really found myself enjoying watching the team. I've been enjoying seeing us evolve from Arsene Wenger to Emery, changing the way the club works, the way the team plays, the staff, new players coming in. It's just been an absolute joy. And we lost those first 2 games of the season. Didn't panic. A lot of us knew it's fine. It's just Chelsea and Man City. You're going to lose those games most likely, I should say. But let's see where we are October, November, December. And so far, heading towards the end of October, 10 wins in a row. So really, really pleased with that. I want to start by saying that 3-1 was a very fortunate score tonight. I think Leicester could have easily scored 4 or 5. So unlucky to Leicester. I thought they played very well, actually. I think in the end, it was just the class from Arsenal. The front 5 or 6 players were just on fire in that second half. And I believe out of the last 16 goals we've scored, 14 of them have been in the second half. I think that goes to show that if there is an issue with these 10 wins in a row that we've had, it's the fact that we don't get going in the first half very quickly. It does seem to be the case where we're not that great in the first half. And sometimes we don't really kick on in the second half, but we still scrape a win. Today was different. We didn't have a good first half, but we went on into the second half and just went up a gear. Whatever was said at halftime clearly worked, and I was really, really pleased. Really pleased with that second half performance. But Leicester could have easily gone away with a point, maybe even a win today. So they'll be fantastic to watch all season, Leicester. I think they've got a really nice squad, a load of great players, and I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine heading into that top 8, maybe even top 6 once again in the near future. But I don't think they're going to go ahead and win the title like they did just a couple of seasons ago. I think that really was a one-off and probably will never happen again. Just goes to show how crazy that season really was. But let's talk about the performance today. We'll start off with the first half and the goal that we conceded. Leicester started very strongly. You could tell that maybe they were up for it a little bit more in the first half than we were. It felt like a Monday night game, you know, where players have maybe had a really nice weekend with their family. They've had, well, some of them have had a nice long break because they weren't playing for their national teams, Ozil, for example. So there's pros and cons to that. One is they're still in rest mode. They've been enjoying some time off with some light training in between, but most of the time they've been at home with family and taking a well-deserved break. Then you've got the pros, and that is that they're fully rested. So you've got players that have had a break and should be back fully fit, raring to go, but also are still stuck in that mindset of being a little bit relaxed and not match sharp. So I was expecting it to be a little bit lethargic tonight, and we got that in the first half because Leicester looked certainly more up for it, just in general. They were first to the ball, they were winning tackles, they were doing so much damage on the break. It was pretty exhausting to watch the Arsenal defence chasing back the whole time, and it wasn't looking good for us. It really wasn't. So when we conceded, I did have a feeling that maybe 9 games was going to come to the end. You know, the 9 wins in a row was all it was going to be, but obviously that wasn't the case. But the goal itself, you could say, was a little bit fortunate. It came off Bellerin's foot. I think it was Chilwell trying to cross it into the box. Chilwell, what a season he's having, now being called up to the England squad. Tell you what, I wouldn't mind potentially signing him at some point. I know Arsene Wenger was a big fan of his. He openly said many times that Ben Chilwell will be a fantastic player, and he's right. You know, if Wenger says a player's going to be good, 9 times out of 10 they will be a good player in the future. He's got a keen eye for that. So maybe Ben Chilwell could be a potential. I think he'll definitely move to a big club very soon, or a bigger club, I should say. Leicester are a big club. So they go 1-0 up, but we didn't look deflated, and this is something I need to point out. This is a mental change that it's come out of switching to Emery from Arsene Wenger. I feel like we have a different mentality when we're losing a game. It's happened quite a few times this season where we've gone 1-0 down, but we haven't dropped our heads. In the past, that would have been potentially 2-0, 3-0, game over. But no, it feels like the team know that it's not the end of the world. Sometimes you're going to go 1-0, maybe even 2-0 down in games, and you can still recover. It doesn't necessarily mean it's game over when you concede. It just felt like under Wenger in recent years, the team dropped their heads as soon as we went 1-0 down. And often, especially against horrible teams to play against like Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, they would pounce on that and make it 2-0, 3-0. And Leicester are more than capable of doing that sort of damage. But thankfully, we got into a groove and we got the goal back. Mesut Ozil, I mean, that was one of the best performances I've seen from Mesut Ozil in a long time. Made captain today, which was brilliant to see. And it was beautiful football. It really was. And everyone's saying it's Emery ball. We've gone from Wenger ball, who everyone thought was game-changing. And it was. Back in the day when Wenger ball was really a thing, it was new to the league. It was new to football almost. He completely changed the way Arsenal played when he joined, and Emery's done the same. It's a similar style of football, but it feels like we're just pressing more, and the mentality is just stronger. There's more of a winning mentality in this team. That's the biggest thing I can see the difference in right now. And the fact that we've got such a deadly front forward 5 or 6 players like we saw tonight, we will score goals. It's just going to happen. And Ozil was pretty much the maestro of everything today, wasn't he? He was an absolute magician. Just so good. I mean, when Ozil is on it, when he's in form, when he's playing out of his skin like that, there isn't many better in that position. I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says. Mesut goes missing a lot. He can be disappointing quite a lot of the time. Bit of a bipolar midfielder. One day he's extremely awful. One day he is insane. That was today. Just one of those unplayable games from Mesut Ozil. And Lacazette, Aubameyang, again, deadly on the break. I thought, although Lacazette has been very good this season and he still had plenty of opportunities today, he was still heavily involved in a lot of our attacks. Just moments where maybe if he was a little bit more composed, would have got a goal tonight. Aubameyang came on and scored 2 goals within 130 seconds, I think it was, which is brilliant. Thank you for the points in my fantasy league team. Aubameyang's just going to be tapping in goals like that all day with Mesut Ozil and Lacazette playing it into him. But, I haven't mentioned him yet. Iwobi, man. Oh. Nutmegs, pirouettes, everything. Flicks, tricks. He's got everything this season. I'm so immensely proud of the guy because I've slated him. So many people have slated Iwobi the last 18 months or so, excluding the last 3 months, obviously, the most recent few months. He's a new player. It's like we've signed the Nigerian Messi. Obviously, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I really feel like Iwobi should be in this team. He just makes it tick on that left side. He gives us a bit of width. He's stronger than he was before. He's faster. He seems way more intelligent. He knows where he should be at all times. He's less clumsy. His shooting and passing seems to be way more accurate. But most of all, out of everything, the biggest thing I've noticed about Iwobi is his confidence. And I love to see that. Emery has reinvigorated him, given him the chance to show what he's got. Pre-season he was great, and he's just got better. Since the Chelsea game, which we lost, which we shouldn't have lost, by the way, this should be 11 wins in a row. The only game we really should have lost was Man City, and tonight maybe we could have got a draw, I guess. There's been a couple of results where we've won when not playing well, but since that Chelsea game, whenever Iwobi has played, he's done so well for us. So I'm hoping we keep him in the team. I don't know how it works. If we want Iwobi, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ozil, Mkhitaryan, it's impossible to get everyone in the team, so we will have to rotate players around. Another shout out goes to Torreira. This guy has changed us. Out of anyone in this team, the one player that keeps us looking so solid, and I think one of the main reasons we've been able to go on a 10-win streak. Don't know why I couldn't say that. Not really a tongue twister. But the main guy is Torreira. He's just so good at what he does, and he does it kind of under the radar. You don't even know that he's doing these things. But if you watch back some of the highlights from tonight, just look for the little man in the yellow boots in the centre of midfield and just watch him, because the things he does are so complicated but made to look so simple. He's always in the right place at the right time. He's always getting his body in the way. He's always intercepting passes that most players wouldn't get near. And let's just remind ourselves of how short this guy is. He seems to have 10 feet long legs. He's got his legs around everything. He reminds me of Kante from Leicester doing two players' jobs. So we get more players going forward. Him next to Xhaka gives Xhaka a lot more stability. Didn't think Xhaka was particularly great tonight. I think discipline errors, once again, he's going in too hard in challenges, which can be a good thing. But if he's getting a yellow card early on in the game like he did, it means he then can't overexert himself and can't slide in and battle himself around and use his strength as much, which we need from him. So I'd like to see Xhaka calm it down still a little bit more. Still a little bit too aggressive, if you ask me. But him and Torreira, great partnership. I thought Guendouzi and Ramsey came on and did a really good job as well. Defensively, I was really happy with Lichtsteiner on the left, but more so with Bellerin on the right. Another really solid game. Definitely lost a bit of pace. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's his new diet. He's gone vegan. Who knows what it is? But do you know what? If he's a tad slower, but he's more positionally aware, he's better with his crossing, he's better with his passing, and most importantly, he's better at getting back and helping out the defence, then I will take the trade-off. Because sometimes you can have all the pace in the world, Theo Walcott, but be crap. Just be crap at football. Now, Theo Walcott had the potential to be world-class, but never got there. It was all pace, wasn't it? It made him a better player than he was just because he could run. I think with Bellerin, we were starting to see that. Beforehand, we saw a youngster full of confidence that had pace, but also was just a good player. He looked to be world-class. Barcelona wanted him. But now he seems to be coming out of that phase where he was just pace, where he was making so many issues from nothing. You know, being out of position, crosses were terrible. He's really starting to find his feet, and I love that about Bellerin because he's an Arsenal guy. He's been here for so long now, and he's flourishing right now, so happy to see that. Mustafi was good tonight. Holding wasn't bad either. And Leno in goal, no problems with him. In general, just very pleased that we've managed to get those 10 wins in a row. And although this isn't the right mentality to have, but as Arsenal fans, we're not really used to this. So forgive me if it sounds a bit silly, but we can lose a game now and it doesn't really matter. You know, that's terrible mentality, but I think you know where I'm coming from. Let's say we go into a game in the next few weeks where it's a tough one and normally we would expect to lose it. I won't come away from that game just sad and upset because we've lost a match. It'll be kind of like, well, we did win 10 in a row. It is okay. You're going to lose some games. But of course, if the players think like that, if the manager thinks like that, it's not a good thing. It's just, I always look as an Arsenal fan into the future, knowing what we've got here makes this better or worse. I'm struggling to make sense out of this, but if you win 10 in a row, you can get away with a couple of bad performances and it won't ruin your season, which is what we've done for many seasons in a row with runs of bad form. We've done brilliantly this season. So let's keep it going and hopefully we won't drop those points in the next few weeks. Imagine if we could stay unbeaten for another few weeks and then we find ourselves going into the most busy part of the year, December, January, with all those games, with points in the bank, so to speak. That's the best way to explain it. We've got points in the bank now, and we can afford to slip up a little bit here and there, but of course, we don't want to. So, man of the match today for me was Mesut Ozil, closely followed by Iwobi and Aubameyang. And that says a lot for Aubameyang, who came on as a sub and got 2 goals again. Why is he not starting? I'm not too sure. Maybe it's fitness. I don't know. Maybe he wanted Iwobi in. But I think it's clear to see Aubameyang should be starting with Lacazette, with Ozil, with Mkhitaryan, with Iwobi. I don't know how they're going to do it. Best of luck. But thank you for watching, guys. It's good to be back with Operation Arsenal. Make sure you check out my career mode video from earlier today. It didn't seem to hit all the sub boxes, so if you haven't seen it, please do check it out. And I will see you for another Arsenal review next time we play.